Good morning, boys and girls. Sledge here again. As you may have heard on my first cast, I was talking about my life as an ambulance man. Now, with all that's going on in the world, with the war in Ukraine, nurses going on strike, ambulance services going on strike, which you may have heard in my first cast that I personally went on strike in 1989, 1990 when I was an ambulance man. So let's get that through first. With the war that's going on in Ukraine, I watched a lot of YouTube channels, read the news, and what's going on is completely wrong. I firmly believe that Russia and Putin and his hanger-ons are completely wrong to attack a innocent state like Ukraine, and I feel for every single man, woman and child that has lost their life due to this despot. But getting back to me, and I don't mean that in a horrible way, but I'm talking about my life as an ambulance man, starting from 1988-89 through to the 2000s. I was very young. I was 21, 22 when I joined, as you may have remembered last time. But my first job in London that I remember the most was, and this, I've got to say this before I start, this isn't for children. Okay, this is graphic, it's real, it's a story that I'm telling from my own memory, and I don't want any young people or children to hear this. So if you are listening, please bear that in mind. But I remember a job where I was on the London Bridge, where a Scotsman who was drunk climbed up the pylons of the London Bridge, and we were called in the early hours of the morning, and unfortunately I was standing almost directly underneath him, and a more experienced ambulance man came over and said, "Sledge, you got to move." And I said, "Why is that?" And he said, "Because if he falls or jumps, he's going to land on you." And I moved, and unfortunately the fire brigade, who were trying to rescue this poor individual, was unable to, and he fell into the Thames River. Sadly, he lost his life, and we had to drive our ambulance to a point near the Thames River where his body was recovered by the people who dealing with, should I say, people who or have fallen into the Thames. We received the gentleman's body and transported him to a hospital, which I won't name, but sadly he did lose his life. It wasn't his fault, he was drunk. He thought he was doing something fun. He may have even done it in front of friends or relatives, I don't know, and I'll never know. But that's just one story of many. I'm going to keep this one short because that story alone resonates with me so strongly, even now in my 55th year on this planet, and I still remember it like it was yesterday. So that's one story from Sledge as an ambulance man. I wish you well, good health, good luck, and peace to the world. Amen.